every stock, you may hear it called stock or you may hear it called share. Every stock, a share has a stock symbol, right? So for example, like Domino's, their stock symbol is DPZ, right? Tesla would be TSLA, Netflix would be NFLX. It's like everyone has their own symbol. And when you go to buy a stock and you don't know the symbol, don't worry. When we go over to your stock portfolio side of it, when we set up your mock portfolio, you will see that if you put Walmart in, they're gonna give you the symbol for it. So you'll write Walmart in the search bar and it'll come out with WMT. So don't worry about the symbols just yet. And then once you start learning your own stocks and what you want and what you like, you're gonna know your symbols off the bat. I tell you that, you're gonna know your symbols off the bat. I know you hear the term diverse portfolio, right? You wanna have a diverse stock portfolio. What that means is that you have the stock market comes in different sectors. You have retail, you have pharmaceutical, you have healthcare, you have the auto industry, you have oil, you have different types of sectors within the market. And when they say diversify, which means that if you have $500 to invest, it's not advised to invest the whole $500 in one sector. Like, I'm gonna put all of my money in Tesla. You could, it's your choice, right? But then suppose something goes on with the chips or whatever, all that money is tied in to that. So it's good to diversify, which means that maybe put $100 in Tesla, maybe put another $100 in pharmaceuticals, maybe put another $100 in oil and gas, healthcare, whatever it is. And then that will help, like if one industry kind of has a bad day or a bad year or whatever, you still have other ones that are working for you. It's like making your money work best for you, right? So we ain't gonna put all them eggs in one basket. Unless you're really sure, unless you did your research, you said, and that's happened before. I've done my research, I'm like, look, I know this is, I'm buying this, and it was a good decision. But it still took research. Don't just go on a whim. Oh, I have a whim that tomorrow's gonna go up. Now, we all know buy and sell, right? But do you know what a stock quote is? Give you a second to think about that. A stock quote, all right? A stock quote is how much money that stock is going for at that particular time. Now, when you're watching like your Google Finance and Yahoo Finance and everything, sometimes they're gonna have a 20-minute delay, which means that you may say, oh my God, it's finally $230, I'm gonna sell. But if you don't look at the time, it's a 20-minute delay. It was that price 20 minutes ago, what is it now, right? You cash out, you're like, wait, that's not how much I was gonna make, because you didn't look at the time to see the real time value. Like for me, I use Yahoo Finance and I sign up for real time. So it gives me real time. I love Yahoo Finance, right? I'm not endorsing anyone. No one's paying me, I promise you. But I love Yahoo Finance, but they will have a 20-minute delay if you're on there. But what I have is a real time account. So just be wary that, you see a price, just make sure that's the actual price for that particular time you want to buy or sell. For example, like say you want to buy Lyft, right? And it's selling for $25.32 a share. You say, okay, I'm gonna pull the trigger. Then when you go to pull the trigger for the market rate, it says $27. Like, no, that's not what it says. And that's because if you look at the time, it was probably 10 o'clock when that price was, and now it's 10:20, right? So always balance off your real time quotes. Now, when you look at the stock market, you see red, you see green. We know green means go, we need red means stop, right? We know one's a warning, one's like, hey, go ahead, do what you want to do, right? So in the stock market, you have the same thing. You have red and green, right? And the first thing we're gonna talk about is the green. That's what everybody's here for, right? They're trying to make that green. The green is what they consider a bull market. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of that term, but when you hear someone say we're having a bull market, that means stocks are, they flying high. They're just shooting off, they're shooting off, right? So when you hear someone say the bull market, that's what they mean. The market is going green, the market is going up, the price is rising. And the reason they use bull is because when a bull attacks, swiping up. Swiping up, that's what the bull does. It's gonna swipe up, child. If we're about to attack you, gonna swipe up with them horns. So remember that when you're thinking, when someone says bull market, the bull market is when the price is rising and it's green. Now, when you hear of a bear market, red, that tells you it's a warning, right? A bear market means the market is coming down. That means people are selling. They're selling their shares. Whenever they sell their shares and big amounts or whatever, the market is going to go down. Well, that stock is going to go down, right? So when you hear of the bear market, think of how the bear attacks. When a bear attacks, the bear swipes down. So when that bear is swiping down, child, it's like either a good time to buy. Because to me, that's when I buy. I buy when it's in the red, right? You only sell when it's in the green. You don't want to, buy when it's in the green. Now, unless you know something's taking off really fast, you just want to go ahead and get on that train, go ahead and jump on. Almighty me, jump on that train, right? But you don't ever want to like sit a stock and you're watching it's green and red, and then it's green, green, green. You already know it's been red. You're like, why would I buy it when it's higher? So you want to buy it when it's red because it's going to be a lower price for you to get in. You want to sell when it's a higher price, right? So that's the bull and the bear market. Now with the bull and bear market, you're not really buying stocks from, the New York Stock Exchange or whatever. You're buying it from individuals. So you're going to always have a different number of sellers, a different number of buyers. So when you're buying, you're hoping someone's going to sell it to you at that price. That's why normally I would go with the market price, unless I'm like, I'm not paying no more than this for this. And then I'll do a limit, and we'll go over the limit price and the market price later on, right? So it's always a constant battle between the bulls and the bears. The bulls are trying to push the price up and they're buying. And the bears are trying to push the price down and they're selling. Somebody's going to come out on top. Even if it's by a couple cents, somebody's going to come out on top, right? So if you just bought a stock, you're hoping that you have a bull market with that stock. And remember, just because you have a bad day one day, if you're buying these stocks for a long term, you're not looking at, Friday, the market went down on Friday. I suck. No, this is for your retirement. This is for the future, right? So what you're doing is you're building a nest egg, right? And so you're getting your basket and you're putting as many eggs you can in that basket, right? Until it overflows. And that's what you want to do, right? So don't sit there and watch it. Once you buy something, don't sit there and watch it every day. Oh my God, I lost 20 cents. Oh my God, I lost $4. Oh my God, I made $8. I think I might sell. Relax, calm down, and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Am I doing this now because I really need the money? Or am I doing this now because I'm scared? Or am I doing this now because I'm being greedy, right? Ask yourself those questions before you go ahead and pull the trigger. Now, when you buy shares, it's the ownership of a company, right? So if you buy shares of Nike, you're part ownership of that company, right? So that's what shares are. Shares are stocks. And so if you buy 100 shares in Nike, guess what? You own part of Nike. You are a shareholder. And every company, every corporation, if you look at the definition of corporation, is to appease their shareholders first. And you have people that are like, oh my God, I need to, this company did this and this company needs to pay more money, whatever. Their main focus, by definition, is to appease their shareholders first.